Shalom Israel, Brother Malak, back with the biblical lesson. This lesson is called Wisdom. And what is to be more desirable than wisdom? Not just any wisdom, Yasher Allah, but a specific wisdom. A wisdom that seems hard to fathom for most, especially the two-thirds. A specific wisdom that these Gentile heathen nations can't comprehend. A specific wisdom that people tend to despise, but more so a specific wisdom that is great, really. It's the greatest wisdom of them all. And I kind of take that back a little bit, because you do have some heathen Gentiles that know this wisdom, and that would be your elite heathen, your movers and shakers of the world, because they know who the real Holyfield is. They know who the real McCoy is. They know that you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, you black and brown tribes are the children of Yasher Allah, the children of Israel, the chosen peculiar people. A people brought in with such anomaly, or anomalies rather. But you are the chosen. The Vatican, the secrets are hid in the Vaticans. The secrets and artifacts are hid in their museums and labs, and what else they got stored of our knowledge and historic tellings and artifacts. So the elite heathen know. They know who the real Israelites, the real Jews are. It's just, and even your regular six-pack Joe Edomite is kind of starting to realize and understand who the chosen are as well. Wisdom. For this wisdom is the greatest wisdom of them all. Wisdom this specific wisdom is to be more desirable than everything you can imagine, everything that is manifested. Thus says the Holy Scrolls. Thus says these ancient scriptures. 1 Corinthians 3:19-20. Let's get something out the way. For the wisdom of this world, 1 Corinthians 3:19. The prophecy says, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh God. For it is written, he takes the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Lord knows the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. 1 Corinthians 3:19-20. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh. So all of the wisdom in this world that you can fathom is foolishness with Yahweh, the great one, the ancient of days. for he is beyond time. How can you fathom a person that created time? Think about that, Israel. This power created time. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh. For it is written, he takes the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Lord knows the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. So, all your smart, renowned people in this current world, they can't even be compared. They can't even be compared to the wisdom or the knowledge of this historical, biblical, ancient, royal book that belongs to the historical, ancient, royal, biblical people. And this is what their ancient, historical, biblical, powerful, all-seeing, all-knowing power, Yahweh, has said. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh. So your college degrees, your bachelor's degrees, your master's degrees, none of those things matter. It don't matter. It's worthless. You got people with bachelor's, masters, and they work low-end jobs. So that's all you need to know right there. These damn humans, or should I say heathens, said that we evolved from monkeys or chimps. Just more wickedness and ignorance and foolishness. As the scripture says, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness. And it is. Look at the foolishness that this world portrays. You can be a ecosexual, where you can make love with plants and trees and horrific things like that. Foolishness. Where a man can change into a woman, or a woman can change into a man. Foolishness. It's just so much foolishness within the earth today. And this is why you see the state of the world decaying. It's decaying, Israel. It's decaying, Yashar Allah. Because you have foolish mortals ruling our society right now. And let's get to the prophecy on that. Prophet Daniel 4:17. This is the matter. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men, and gives it to whomsoever he will. So this is why Esau Edom is ruling right now, because Yahweh has given him this little rulership, this little time to rule. Specifically because we broke the blood covenant. You so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Indians, you broke his laws, his judgments, his instructions. So he scattered us through the four corners. He chastised us gruesomely. We know what happened in slavery. We hear of all the atrocities and the horrific measures that took place, and all the other accounts that's not being talked about. That was Yahweh's doing. You hard-headed niggas and niggettes and spics and spickets and what else they call us, savages and savagettes. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you want to know why so much anguish has been upon us? Because we do not keep the laws or the statutes or the commandments of the living, breathing Yahweh, the Ancient of Days. And to this day, our nation still don't get it. It says that the living may know to the intent that the living may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom. Who's the Most High? Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, rules in the kingdom of men. So he rules down here on the earth, this kingdom, the manifestation of men, and gives it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it. Here's the key point: the basis of men. So this is why you have such and much foolishness in the world, because we're under a ruler who is the base. He's the basis of mankind. Esau, Edom, Amalek. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. This is what the prophecies and the scriptures and scrolls are stating. Proverbs 16:16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold? You know, everybody lusts after gold because it's such a beautiful metal, and it's very precious and it's rare. And ultimately, gold is the original money. And to get understanding, rather to be chosen than silver. Silver as well. It's a beautiful metal. Salak is actually the shiniest metals, one of the shiniest, probably the shiniest metal, and that is the original money as well. But you see, we don't even have a money system based on gold and silver. We once did, but these devils eradicated that. You know, foolishness, 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 foolishness. So now you get up and blood, sweat, and tears, and energy, and time, and etc. for this digital dollar or this cotton dollar. You know, either or. You know, this cotton dollar or this digital dollar. Either way, they trying to push it. It's just, I mean, it's already at a cotton dollar because your money, your currency, your paper, it's made out of cotton, but now they're trying to push it to digital, which in fact we are already kind of digital. But, you know, this foolish man, he just keeps on manifesting his foolishness. Proverbs 16:16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding, rather to be chosen than silver? So wisdom is better than all of those things, man. Wisdom is amazing. Proverbs 3:15. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things you can desire are not to be compared unto her. That is wisdom. Proverbs 3:13. Happy is the man that finds wisdom, and the man that gets understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. Proverbs 3:13 on down. She is more precious than rubies, and all things you can desire. You hear that, Israel? You hear that, Yashar Allah? You hear that, you Gentiles, you heathens listening? Salah. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things you can desire are not to be compared unto her. So nothing can compare to wisdom. The prettiest woman with the coldest body, the fastest car, the biggest plane, the biggest house, all the gold in the world, all the silver in the world, all the land in the world, all the power in the world, food, drink, you know, everything, man. Proverbs 3:15. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things you can desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. That is wisdom. Now here's the thing. You may ask, what is wisdom? What is this wisdom that Brother Malak is talking about? Well, let's get it. Let's get what this wisdom is. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God, Yahweh, and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So that is what wisdom is, man. Wisdom is fearing Yahweh and keeping his instructions. It's that simple. It's funny how this specific wisdom is so great and nothing can be compared to it, but yet it's so simple. Fearing Yahweh and keeping his instructions to the best of your ability. His instructions via commandments, via laws, via statutes, which he set forth unto a specific nation, precisely. And that specific nation is you Israelites, you Hebrews, you Israelites, you 12 tribes, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians. That's all scattered through the four corners. Now, eventually this wisdom will be shared with everyone. And it technically still can. You know, we you know, the heathens, they can, you know, learn about this wisdom. You know, the Gentiles, the heathens, they can learn about the wisdom as well. You know? But was this wisdom given unto them? No, it wasn't. It was given unto a certain people to bring forth this specific wisdom unto the earth so that everyone can abide in this wisdom and praise the one who gave the wisdom in the first place. That is how the coming kingdom is going to be established. That is how the coming kingdom is going to be. You hear all the, all these Christians talking about waiting on Jesus' kingdom, and they don't even understand that the kingdom, we're going to be keeping the commandments, the covenants. They don't even comprehend that nor understand that. But they swear they know the Bible. They swear they know these ancient scrolls like the back of their hand, like their name. But the kingdom, in the kingdom of heaven, when Yahweh Shai HaMashiach comes to establish it, we will be keeping the covenant. Actually, the covenant, the blood covenant, the commandments, the instructions will be in our inward parts. It will be immortalized within us. Thus says Hebrews 8:8. Thus says Jeremiah 31:31. Thus says Ezekiel 36:26. So that is what wisdom is. Let's get more into it. Proverbs 3. My son, forget not my law. What is a law? Or laws per se? Instructions, commandments, orders. Proverbs 3:1. My son, forget not my law, but let your heart. When the Bible speaks of heart, let your heart, this, that. It's not talking about the literal organ that's, giving you blood throughout your body. It's talking about the mind. It's actually talking about the brain. My son, forget not my law, but let your heart, your mind, your brain, where that consciousness lies. That consciousness lies within the brain. My son, forget not my law, but ironically we call it, the Bible speaks of it as the heart. My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments, your mind, for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to you. Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them about your neck. Write them upon the table of thy heart. So shall you find favor and good understanding in the sight of Yahweh, God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, your mind, and lean not upon your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. There you have it, man. When you get that wisdom, those are all the blessings that's attached to the wisdom. Proverbs 3:9, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. Everything that this world teaches goes against this Bible. A majority of everything they teach. And that is where the problem lies. Because that's why everything in this world is foolishness. Because they're not keeping that ancient wisdom. That wisdom. Proverbs 3:9, Salak, honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruits of all thy increase. That's neither here or there, but for this lesson, but that's pretty good wisdom as well. When when the Lord bless you with some money or increase, you give it back to the Lord. That's wisdom. It says, and I need to work on that as well, in my own right. Proverbs 3:11, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loves, he corrects, even as a father the son in whom he delights. And that is why you so-called Negroes, Latino, Native Indians has been in this anguish, because you are being chastised to come back, to get this wisdom, this ancient knowledge. And only the 1/3 is going to get it. Only the 1/3 is going to get it. Only those that really comprehend and understand who they are as an Israelite, and those that keep the commandments to the best of their ability, and those that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Those are the ones that has basically been corrected and chastised. And now is awaked. Now is awaked out of the matrix. You remember when Neo, I don't know if that was Morpheus or Trinity, when they pulled the plug, and he woke up and he seen everybody else inside their little chamber sleep, but he woke up and he was awoke. That is what the Bible does to you. It awakes you. It awakes you up out of the matrix, up out of the lies, up out of the foolishness of men and women. That is what the Bible does. Proverbs 3:13. Happy is the man that finds wisdom. We just established what wisdom was. Wisdom, Ecclesiastes 12:13. For this is the whole duty of men, that you fear Yahweh and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of men, roughly paraphrased. That is wisdom. Wisdom is fearing, first and foremost, fearing Yahweh, understanding that there is a higher power that's over us, understanding that a higher power does exist, understanding that a higher power controls all of this. He controls every single fashion, everything. Let's get into it. I love bringing it out because it's just amazing how these ancient scrolls just come to life and they just jump off the pages. And those that have been blessed, like Hamashiach Yahweh Shai said, why do you speak in parables? They asked. Why do you speak in parables? And Yahweh Shai said, it is because it is unto them that see, that have eyes to see, roughly paraphrased, and ears to hear, roughly paraphrased. It's for the awake ones. It's for the ancient ones, the first fruits, the first spirits, the ancient ones, the elect, the election. Ecclesiasticus 1:8, there is one wise and greatly to be feared, the Lord sitting upon his throne. And it even what's the name, elaborates on, Yahweh. He created her. When you read the Bible, you will realize the scrolls, or the Bible, or the scriptures, or the ancient pages, however you want to do it or say it. When you begin to read and understand, you will realize that her, and in most cases where wisdom is being touched on, that is what wisdom is. Wisdom is a feminine spirit, ironically. He created her and saw her and numbered her and poured her out upon all his works. She is with all flesh according to his gift, and he hath given her to them that love him. That her is wisdom. She's a good woman. She's a good, wholesome wife. Wisdom. Wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Wisdom, man. Ecclesiasticus 1:8, there is one wise and greatly to be feared, the Lord sitting upon his throne. So what is God doing right now? He's inside the third heaven, in that beautiful heaven, sitting on his throne, watching everything, putting everything in motion. He is the master chess player, man. Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, is the master chess player. You know, Esau, Edom, and these heathen nations, they think they think that they run and control things, and they don't. You know, and I'm talking about your movers and shakers, not your regular slave, regular Joes, your six-pack Joes, your Newports, smoking, Bud Light drinking, holiday barbecuing heathen. I'm talking about the movers and shakers of the planet, the elite heathen. They think so. You know, they think they run the world. They think they are establishing this and that, and little do they know they're in a trick bag. That's the thing. Little do they know they're in a trick bag, because they do not control nothing. They don't even control how long they're going to live or die or their next move, man. If they really had wisdom, which some of them do, majority of them do, because they know who the real Israelites are. They know who the bloodline, descendant, royal, peculiar people are. So some of them do have wisdom, and most of them have wisdom, I would say, because in order to tell a lie, you must know the truth. I'll say that again. In order to tell a lie, you must know the truth. So there you have it. But they think they're, you know, controlling their moves and doing this and that, and they're not. Let's get the proof on that. Let's get the scrolls on that. 18. I always bring these scriptures up because they're just amazing. Sirach 18. I have read these scriptures multiple times, and it still fathoms, or it still leaves me flabbergasted per se. Sirach 18, 1 and 3, it says, he that lives forever. We just got finished reading that there's one that sits on the throne and lives, you know, and worthy to be feared, and lives forever. Sirach 18, Ecclesiasticus 18, 1 through 3. He that lives forever has created all things in general. That is Yahweh, the Ancient of Days. He created the Israelites, you Negroes, Latino, Native Indians, and he created you heathens, you Gentiles, you so-called Caucasians, you so-called East Indians, you so-called Arabs, you so-called Africans, you so-called Chinese and Asians. The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he who governs. Listen in, Yasha Allah. Listen in, you 12 tribes. And even listen in, you heathens. Sirach 18:3, who governed the world with the palm of his hand. Sirach 18:3, who governs the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. Sirach 18:3, who governs the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will, for he is the king of all, by his power dividing the holy things among them from profane. I rest my case. Wisdom. See, that is wisdom, to understand and comprehend and know that these elitists, these elite heathens, don't really run the world. They don't really run the world. Yahweh runs the world, and he's putting it in their mind to carry out his positionings and his thoughts. But they don't have wisdom. For the knowledge of this world, roughly paraphrased, is foolishness. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness. They got the greatest book or greatest scrolls ever manifested somewhere, just laying down, and they probably don't even read it. And I'm speaking about these elite heathens, these movers and shakers. But half of them do. Half of them do. Because like I say, you cannot tell a lie unless you know the truth. It's just that simple. Excuse my background, Yasha. But we're going to go with another scripture and we're going to end it. It says Proverbs 18:10 and 11. It says, receive my instructions and not silver and knowledge rather than choice gold. It says, for wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it, man. Proverbs 8:11. You can't get enough of it. You can't even fathom it, really. But that's just what it is. Wisdom. Shalom, Yasha Allah. Shalom.